Whenever a new car comes out, everybody's got an opinion. So before I show you around this brand new Kia Stinger GTS, I want to share some of those opinions with you that we received on our Facebook page a little while ago. It's still a freaking Kia. They are junk and cheap. Get something that at least benefits the people around you, and then in capital letters, did I already say they were junk pile of shit? Yeah, you already said that. But, it's seriously, it'll be cheaply made, unreliable, and generally mundane. Running costs of an M car, personality of a moist mop.
Sometimes I feel,
Have you ever tried to mop carpet?
No. That's normally vacuum's job.
And this one, written by a guy called Kevin, is my favourite. You can put icing on a pile of dog shit, but that doesn't make it a cake. Well, Kevin, let's find out. Here's something I found earlier. Here is some icing, especially for you, Kevin. Let's slop it over. Oh, yeah. Looks good, eh? Here's to you, Kevin and friends. Today then, my mission is to win all the mean people like Kevin over by looking at the Kia Stinger GTS's good points and bad points. Let's start with the good. Welcome everybody, and welcome Kevin and friends to the Kia Stinger GTS, the most powerful, the most expensive Kia Stinger that you can buy. Let's kick things off with power. Now under the bonnet we have a 3.3 litre twin turbocharged V6. A V6 in a Kia, yes we do. And we have got a pretty healthy 365 horsepower, 376 pounds-foot of torque. Now that gives this car, bearing in mind it weighs over 1.8 tons, a 0 to 62 time of 4.9 seconds, and a very un-Kia-like top speed of 168 miles an hour. That is 270 kilometers an hour for everyone else who doesn't understand miles an hour. As well as being heavy, the Stinger is also incredibly long at 4.83 meters. Need perspective? That's almost 3 Mies lying end to end, or the same length as a Porsche Cayenne. So what does the Kia Stinger GTS feel like to drive? Well, I have to say, it doesn't feel like a Kia. I've never driven a Kia that handles this well, that has this much performance. Now you can change the driver settings using this little button here. Sport mode. Immediately, the steering is heavier, the throttle response is quicker, and the biggest thing that I notice is that the dampers are firmer, so you're getting a lot firmer, sportier ride. I do like this car. Sport Plus, which switches off traction control. So if I go very slowly and then if I punch it, as you can see, we are lighting up the rear tyres. And also, when you're driving in the fast lane, people don't know what it is, and especially in Nardo Grey, if you give them a cheeky little flash, they get out of the way because they think it might be a cop car. It does look kind of undercover cop-esque, doesn't it? Let's talk about the price, because the Kia Stinger GTS, this very car, costs £40,495. That sounds like a lot for a Kia, doesn't it, Kevin? But when you compare it to the less powerful, slower, more common and £5,000 more expensive BMW 440 Grand Coupe, the Stinger suddenly looks like pretty good value. You can feel the weight of the car through the corners, tighter stuff like this, especially on greasy roads. I was actually surprised by how heavy it is. You just need to be a little bit wary, because this is only rear-wheel drive, in this country anyway. Now let's talk about the interior, which again is very un-Kia-like. In fact, our assistant producer, a guy called Toby, who's joined us recently, when he first sat inside, he said, oh, it looks like a Mercedes inside. Yeah, I agree, because all the switchgear is pretty elegant. We've got nice round vents here and this big kind of, I don't know what it is, this big automatic joystick. Exactly, it looks like a joystick. These seats are actually really comfortable. They're nice and soft, and they just feel like big kind of friendly armchairs. Oh yeah, and a massive boot. So if you do go out on a Friday night, Mr. Policeman, and if you're arresting multiple people, you can put 2 felons in the boot as well. Yeah, you're welcome. There is a lot to like about the Stinger GTS, but that's not to say that it's perfect. I want my Stinger to sound better than this, and there are loads of aftermarket options for your exhaust tuning. Because that's not really doing it for me. I'm getting some noise pumped into the cabin, which sounds all right, doesn't sound particularly sporty, and that's the thing you need to remember about the Stinger GTS, this very car. It's not a super saloon. It is in fact a hatchback. You can see the kind of boot goes up and down. It's more of a fast cruiser, and when you step inside the interior, you immediately realize, oh, this isn't really a sports car. So anyone who says, oh yeah, the Stinger's a really crap sports car or super saloon, you're missing the point, because it is not a super saloon. It is just a really fast, cool cruiser that you can literally dominate Autobahn in, and if you want to, go on a B road and have some fun, because it handles well. I just need a bit more noise. Like I said, the weight of the thing coupled with the relatively soft suspension makes it lean through corners more than the bulges, vents and quad exhausts would have you believe. And at no point is it a particularly exciting car to drive. But it's little things that I do like. I'm getting back to the stuff that I do like my left arm is somewhere to rest nicely. I can hold the wheel with it. My right arm as well, it's nice here. Sometimes you get the armrests and they're too high up, or this armrest is too far back and you can't quite rest both arms. But yeah, you can just relax and cruise. And I like the price. I like that it's £5,000 cheaper than a BMW. I like that I would get a 7-year warranty. I sound like a Kia rep here, don't I? And now, Kevin, just for you, here's my final thought. The Kia Stinger GTS is not the best car the world has ever seen. It is not the prettiest, it lacks a certain amount of excitement, and it is not, as you would probably say, a sick whip. What the Stinger is a well-planned and perfectly executed GT cruiser for budget-conscious performance seekers. A turd with icing it most certainly is not. Kevin. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more reviews like this, click here, and don't forget to subscribe to Car Throttle on YouTube right here. We done? We done?